day 7, I believe. Sorry, it is day 7. Here's the top of the table. Johan Chua, little exhibition pull against SVB to open day 7. He's on top. Robert Capito, one less played match, one less win. He's in second. Of course, we lost the guys in red a few days ago on Jeremy Jones with Scott Frost. Got a good match coming up here. Local guy Sanjin Pehlivanovic against Duong. And, Sanjin got on a decent roll. I think he did lose his last match last night to Claudio Cacci. But still looking a lot better since the early stages of this event. Duong, who had a rough day yesterday, didn't get really going at any point, but looking for a fresh one here. But both these guys need a lot of wins to advance, so we'll see how it goes. Sanjin to break in game number 1. Scott, you saw all that first match from Chua, and it was something special, huh?
Yeah, some of the, look at this kiss. Some of the shots Chua just continues to come with. You know it's not by accident, right? He cuts the ball as good as any human I've ever seen in my entire career. He just come with one after another after another.
Yeah, I walked in and just took a look at Shane's face, and I knew it wasn't good without seeing the score. And, just how it is. He didn't have a good day yesterday. Wanted a positive start here today to get himself going, and now I think he needs a lot of wins as well.
Yeah, the mindset for SVB might not be where it needs to be. Hopefully that changes. He did make a positional error when it was 1-0 Chua. That really snowballed on him.
Yeah, tough opener here, but trying to go one rail into the 9 maybe. Oh, great shot.
Yeah, I think he caught the 3 there.
Oh, he did. Wow. It's funny because I saw Duong kind of look like he was going for his cue, and I was kind of wondering if he had an opening shot here and what the safety might be. Yeah, good call. Looking at a 3-9 combination, and one he's supposed to make, but could just have a clearance instead.
Made it look easy. I don't know if I'd have had the confidence with ball in hand to do that versus the clearance, but the Martian quickly on the board.
Yeah, and it's funny with that kind of combination. If I have a little of the rail to use, kind of slide it, I hit it at that speed. But when it's out in the middle of the table a little bit, I have a hard time kind of rolling that combination like he did. But of course, he has a pure stroke and pretty soft hands, the guy. So Kwok Wong to take a 1-0 lead and break in game 2.
Yeah, and on this table, we've seen it over and over, Jeremy, where Pehlivanovic is trailing 3-0, 4-1. Things just continue to happen. He is a grinder. Seems to always get himself back in the match and give himself an opportunity to win, whether the table's helping him, the other players helping him, or he's just doing all the work. Table 2, Capito, giving it back to Newhausen. Capito was up 3-0 here, Jay.
Yeah, I missed 9 ball there, I believe, in rack number 3 to cut it 2-1, and a poor positional shot from Morris Newhausen. We'll keep you updated on table 2. Great break off. 2's going to dress up, so good look here. A little wet outside today. Been raining pretty much since the AM, and it's harder rain, I think, earlier today than as we've had the entire trip. I don't think it has any notion of letting up for most of the day, so we'll see if it affects anything inside. Now Duong sizing up if he can draw past the 6. May just get in position to take the 3 in the upper left. That's kind of what I like. Just make sure you're not cueing funny over the 9. Okay, watch out, pink. Now, does he have the angle to play a little inside, or does he have to go short side on the pink 4?
Yeah, I think he can get out more towards the center here. He might have to put a little inside on it like you just touched on. More about just a follow ball, though I know early in the week with just a high cue ball it should open up. But here, with the rain outside, I think it's playing quite a bit shorter than it did the last few days. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, didn't really even need the inside spin. And when the stroke is pure, you don't have to use as much spin. The cue ball kind of gets through that collision a little better. And Dwok, I've always felt like had a very good stroke. Very good timing. Stays very steady with the body. Moritz Newhausen on table 2 in position to tie that match. Of course, Capito, his record will tell you how impressed we are this week, especially with all these keelers he's been knocking off. But that's the one he wanted back, but Moritz has impressed me as well. Really, really solid pool, and I think this type of event can go a long ways for him.
Yeah, you see Duong right there. He just got up right before went to this replay. Got up off the ball for just a second. He does that from time to time, but he didn't get all the way off the ball. Just misjudged pretty heavily there.
Or you were talking about one way or another with this guy, and there's a little of that help from his opponent. Now Sanjin the same, may have to go through this, I'm not sure, to get nice and heavy on the brown 7. May just be able to stop the ball. Looks like Mr. Newhausen chip in 9-ball to tie that match at 3 games apiece. And Moritz is in a position, just because of how tough it is, you'd say, oh, let's just win all my matches and I control my own destiny. Well, good luck with that. You know what I mean? You got guys trying to fire at you. So even in losses, it may come down to number 6, or even number 5 and 6, something to do with the game count.
Yeah, and Sanjin, SVB, and Moritz position, really, it's not all just about what you do. It's about everything else that's going on around here as well. That's where those 5-0s and 5-1s and matches you happen to lose could really show up in the future here.
Yeah, some players played 4 matches yesterday. Some played 5. Of course, you'll have the opposite of whatever you played yesterday, which will total 9 matches between the 10 players for each of these players in the round robin.
Yeah, looks like SVB will play 5 today. Duong will play 5 today. Yeah, there's a few of them for sure.
Yeah, and of course, Matchroom always trying to put it in the best setting possible, but those other 4 that, just like the 6 previously that got eliminated, the 4 that don't make the second cut to the final 6 players, they're going to be playing for extra dollars also. That 6, 7, 8, or excuse me, 7, 8, 9, 10 spot do pay different. So these matches are going to be worth some money and have value applied.
Yeah, it's day 7 finally getting a little to Capito here on table number 2. He broke dry again, and the most emotion out of him that I've seen by far this week.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of it yesterday. He showed a little frustration at times, but a guy that doesn't show a whole lot usually. All right, great break off. He's been breaking the balls really well. Just got a pure one up in the corner. Just roll the ball out to the center of the table. Everything else lays very nice. So, always, the shot of the rack here.
Yeah, knowing Sanjin, he's the type of player that just likes to stun everything, hits things at times with maybe a little bit too much speed, but he feels more comfortable. And I get it where he's stunning, but here, like Jeremy said, I think you just got to float this up. And he doesn't feel comfortable when he's shooting those type of shots, it seems to me, and that's why he's more to the stun ball.
Yeah, and, technically wise, just a replay is very hard to see because it's always seems like a little bit of a slow motion kind of replay, but a little quick with the backswing there is what it was. And, if you excel in one area or the other, just play like a few days worth without any stun. Just get through the racks and see how you can do rolling the ball around or maybe sweetening it around somewhat. Because you know how it is, Scott, as well as anyone. When it comes to winning big matches and tournaments, should make this, but you never know with the cue ball now. But, the pool gods are going to make you shoot some of those ones you don't like. It's always going to come down to a crucial shot. Man, if I just rolled over a hair more, I get to hit it this way, but now I have to hit it in a way that maybe I'm not most comfortable.
Yeah, that never seems to fail, right? You've got a shot you're struggling with all week, and the next thing you know, you're staring down the barrel of it like 3 times in the first game of the set. So you better be ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know what yours was. Mine was high right ball for some reason. High right ball, I just never delivered the cue as well. Maybe being very left eye dominant, I don't know. But there was always that shot in particular that probably the wrong way to approach it, but I would try to avoid it. And, I'd practice it, but still try to avoid it.
Yeah, I actually think a lot of the players would be a high right ball. Definitely for me as well, especially with distance, a high right ball.
Yeah, I think left English, it didn't matter where it was. But I think it's my grip, to be honest with you. I'm kind of cupped, and just thinking about it, I think I kind of let the cup come undone for right English for some reason. I don't know, but good stuff there.
Yeah, and speaking of grip, I was talking to Kachi. I felt like his backhand at times, even in the short distance shots that we were really surprised he was missing, was kind of tightening up in that final delivery a little bit. When I was talking to him about it, he looked like a light bulb might have gone off.
You talking about Eklund?
Yeah, Eklund. Sorry.
Yeah. And, I talked about Eklund quite often, just because I love, his game, and I think he's so good for the sport. And I think he's one of those guys you want to see win for our sport. But, he has a little bit of a quicker tempo. So when that's the case, when things are off, certain things get magnified. One of them is definitely the grip.
Oh, look at this, Jeremy. Did it get in the way? I believe it did.
Yeah, and this is going to be an awkward stretch, even though limber young man in good shape, but an awkward stretch for the right-hander. I think, anyways. Maybe not. Yeah, you can see. All right, Morris did knock that ball down, but like anything, when you get a little out of line, whether it's a jump shot or not, usually costs you a little bit on the next shot, and he's got to come with one, I'll tell you. Great break off here.
Really just knock this in, get it somewhere left of the 8. Moritz ended up missing that long 6 that Jeremy was just touching on, but almost fluked the 9 to lower right corner.
Yeah, as bad a miss as I've seen from Moritz. Was no easy shot, but looking at this layout here, it's nice, right? I mean, love to start with this every time, but what I'm getting at is really impressed with the equipment because, again, you're going to have some easy layouts, but you still have to maintain the way these tables have played. It doesn't take much to get a little out of line, and then the shot becomes very difficult. Maybe you land on the rail, and then the pockets start to show their teeth a bit.
Yeah, there's no doubt these players have really respected the tables this week. Some probably respect them a little more than others. We noticed right away that some of the guys just couldn't ever really get out of the mental capacity of how tight these tables can play.
Yeah, well, last week, I don't know why, but last week we had them playing a little softer overall, so that transition maybe. You could tell, I think, that some were thinking about the pocket initially from the start of the event, and then some weren't. All right, fell a little flat here. You can usually cheat to stun pretty easily and get a lot of movement. Going forward can be funny from close quarters. I like coming back with the stun myself. That's why spinning the ball, you just can't predict it. Because the cue ball, when you're in close quarters, never really gains that energy, right? Kind of just like if you had ball in hand, you would never set it up real close because you want the cue ball to kind of develop, as it goes to the object ball.
Yeah, what side do you think he was trying to stay on, the right or left of the 8?
Well, if he was trying to stay on the right of the 8, I think we would have saw a lot less swing there. So I think he was trying to go past it myself. All right, watch the cue ball. A couple rails towards the lower right, excuse me.
He's going to fluke it into the middle, and he said, "I'm sorry." Such a nice guy.
All right, Robbie Capito did get out. He's up 4-3.
Yeah, table number 2 not breaking real well. Jeremy touched on the rain. It's been raining for at least 24 straight hours. Look at how much of this ball he got into. I do not believe he meant to go that far.
Well, he's got a heck of a stroke, so maybe a little frustration there. All right, 3-1 to the Vietnamese champion, and boy, I'd love to see him win a big one. I tell you, I really would.
I was impressed with how he handled the Reyes Cup. I really looked for him to kind of falter at times, and he stayed extremely solid under the lights.
Yeah, especially having a big miss in that opening match. Of course, there were a couple mistakes by Team Asia, but then they all responded beautifully. Whatever old Efren had to say to him after that team match, it was some good stuff because they really let go of that loss and move forward like a true team. All right, big shot. He's made most of them. Yeah, I wouldn't say dead center, but pretty darn good. The man in black. I don't know if I've ever seen him play a match where he wasn't wearing all black.
Yeah, and he's got that top button always buttoned up to the chin on his shirt.
All right, trails 3-1. Sanjin, local hero.
And a ball coming from nowhere. It's the 8. Knocks the 2 right back up to the top of the table.
Yeah, Capito got snookered on a very open shot on the 2 ball, so we'll keep you informed there. Could go hill.
Yeah, I like banking the 2 past the 3 and 4 and maybe snuggling up behind the 8.
Might go for this.
Well, that's plan B. I don't know if he got there, Jay. A little heavy into the 2. Maybe a touch thinner.
And treacherous queuing here. Now, this is where you can look at the 5-8. Of course, it's a playable combination, and if any of these players got in position, they're a big favorite to make, but still got to make it. So maybe you have a little more leeway with this, too. I like this. Just, wow, great cue ball.
I guess. Look at this shot.
You can go off. Well, you could swerve to the left of it. That's the way I like more than the right. Yeah, pure stroke there. All right, we should get a look at that 5-8 combination we were talking about here in a moment. It's got a nice angle here. You should be able to get somewhat close to it. Not real close, but let's say in line with it. Doesn't need a whole lot. Should be a light stun across. Maybe a little bit of an awkward stretch here. Maybe not. Maybe you can get into it.
Yeah, it was stretched a little awkward. That last shot, maybe concerned about the purple just a little bit with his body. All ball fouls touch any ball with any part of your body, shirt, you. It would be a foul.
Yeah, I like him drawing this. Oh, he really let it go there, though. Didn't dig in there. You can use a little lower tip position to really kill the cue ball. Now he's not only got to make a nice shot, but, I mean, there's no guaranteed position on the 6 with the 7 down table.
And table number 2, Capito will survive, as you see on your screen. About to knock the 9 in. Was leading 3-0. Moritz made a comeback. Capito moves on.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier. You're going to get some good layouts. You're going to get balls or racks you're supposed to run, but you take one shot off mentally, you get a little out of line with the cue ball. Now you can see not hit terribly, but didn't take much to cause a miss.
No, I agree, JJ. You're right. He could have got into the combination a little bit better and maybe held some distance off this right long round that way. Following shots a little easier, but kind of took a little time off there and just knocked the combination in. Ended up funny, and Sanjin left to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, nothing much here. Just a couple easy balls to make it 3-2. Table 2, which will resume here in just a moment. Eagle Eye, Jason Shaw against young Cledio Kachi. There a nickname for Cledio yet? You got one? Has it been tagged?
Not that I know of. I'm sure he'll earn one within the next year or so. They probably got a couple for him over there in Albania.
Hats off to our referees. Been working long days. Not only last week, but of course these 8 days here for the PLP.
Yeah, racking the balls, especially a big guy like that. Over time, that lower back has to start to feel it. never could figure out, Jeremy, is it a benefit to be shorter when you're ranking the balls or taller?
Well, the same argument's always been about a player as well. I think they both have their ups and downs. Pardon the pun. I still think, like a 6-foot guy, for as far as a player, has a little more advantage than the shorter ones. I mean, there's a little more wear on the back, but when you talk about technically, I think a little longer arc doesn't hurt. Probably get a little higher back elbow easily and reaching shots. I think there's a few more pluses for the little bit taller players.
Yeah, probably not as much longevity, but definitely throughout the prime, I would have to agree with that.
Yeah, and I think as the sport evolves, we're going to see more of those more athletic frames start to play more pool. I think the same thing happened in golf.
Yeah, look at Filler, look at AJ Manis, look at Better Gorst. I mean, there's a lot of them coming out now.
I think he can beat the Kiss, kind of banking the two off the short rail back towards this other short rail and come across, try and use the 6 maybe. Then crossing it the other way, you're really, yeah, that's what I was thinking. You're not only having a Kiss possibly, but I think you're giving up a lot more that way.
Yeah, I just felt like he could come off the 2 softly with right spin up behind the 6.
Yeah.
Just lay the 2 over on the left long rail, but here's one that Sanjin does get up for and can bury. This is his type of ball.
Yeah, this is the one that he's just been slightly overcutting into this left knuckle. Pretty pure.
Yeah, might end up on the rail here a little bit, but so close to it. The rail's not the end of the world. Wants to carry some type of an angle. I don't think you come past the purple, but he might. Oh, that might have always been the problem. I didn't know that he'd try to come past it, and I don't think he did, Jeremy. I think all he really tried to do is get off the rail.
Well, if you watch the 2 ball, it was a real sweet stroke. And once you calm that swing down a little bit, and I know he's trying to do that, you're going to move the cue ball a little easier. And so I don't think there was a miss hit there or anything like that. I think just got a little more movement than he expected.
Yeah, he's just, but we've touched on it. He's one of those players that like to put a little more into the power, right, with the shots instead of the finesse. And that's when you can have a problem trying to get into tight areas as well.
Yeah, this guy here is certainly a shot maker and elevates the cue as well as anyone, I think, near the rail. Usually stays very steady. Now this one's in between. He can't just let it go. Just real confident whenever he elevates the cue. Watching him practice here the last few days, he always sets up a ton of shots off the rail.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons for that is that he doesn't quite get all the way down on the ball like some of the elite players where their chin's basically touching the cue. He's up a few inches, which I've noticed. Nothing wrong with it, but I think it helps his elevation a little bit.
Yeah, and he's super steady with the body. And the other thing, anytime you elevate the cue, or let's say you're near the rail and the cue has to get elevated, it just instantly makes you want to kind of overhit the ball. So I think one thing he does is he never really just kind of rips at it when he's elevating the cue. He's still really steady, doesn't miss hit the cue ball. All right, just you can handle a little cut on the 8 and work the cue ball, so don't take any chances. Yeah, I like that.
I'd love to get the stats, but it seems like all the matches I've covered this week, or we've covered this week, Sanjin has really struggled early and then come on later. Just an interesting thought that came through my mind there.
All right, this may be a little 50-ish. It's okay. Definitely missable, though. Jason Shaw takes game 1 and at the table in game 2. On table 2. And to the hill for Duong. And these two, their dollars they're playing for, like we talked about, with the outside chance of making that final 6. Here's a good look at EOI.
Yesterday, really in a kind of like a comatose mood. I didn't see him laugh or joke around really at all in the early parts of yesterday. And today, back to himself, kind of joking around, lighthearted, having fun.
Yeah, and you know, yesterday some of the matches didn't show how well he played, but one thing, Jason hasn't had any bad losses when he has lost, not that I can recall. Always been in it seems. So
yeah, I think SVB beat him 1 set 5-1, but that was 4 days ago.
Yeah, we'll get more of Eagle Eye and young Cledio. All right, the 2 got pinned on the back cushion, bottom cushion. 4 or 5 balls up the table.
Yeah, and I believe his last break got pinned to the top cushion.
Yeah, not taking a whole lot of time here. And him just banking that ball up the table wasn't going to really get him much in return. With all those balls up there, you can't just give him a free look. He's going to plant you behind the 3-7 or put the 2 behind that wall and then work the cue ball. So
Totally agree, Jay, and I think that's where the side rail to side rail can really come in that these players tend to overlook at times.
yeah, just kind of put the 2 up the right side rail, maybe go behind the 8. Make it to where they're going to play a safety on you, but it's not going to be devastating. You know, you're going to be able to get out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you can see the ball, right, when you go side rail to side rail, they don't have as much to hide behind. I think that's really important.
Yeah, they're usually kind of clipping and running the cue ball, and most players do a great job of that, but it's still always hard to get the snooker. Is he going past this all the way to the pocket? He needs to go a little bit. I don't know if he has it or not.
Yeah, you kind of would have thought that he would have taken a little longer look at where he wanted to be there. Maybe concerned about the corner pocket. I don't think he has all of this, Jeremy.
No, I agree. A good touch there.
Yeah, did he cut him off from the right long rail? If he did, this is really tough. Might be value going from the left, actually.
I like slow roll, put him on the purple. Yeah, maybe that's just a little experience, not recognizing that shot. That shot was pretty easy overall. And the main thing about that shot is you may not get the snooker, but you're not leaving him anything offensive. Jason Shaw did get out, took the second game 2-0, just broke the balls in game 3. Just needs to go forward a little bit. From what we can see, not the start that Sanjin wanted.
And it seems to be a little bit repetitive for him in the early stages each day. Well, one big shot away right here. Gets this down. He's a heavy favorite. Seal the deal.
Yeah, very confident stroke. Okay, simple work from here. Just draw the cue ball a little bit. Get an angle on the 7, 8, and 9 grouped on the bottom end.
Yeah, and Duong 9 of 20. So direly needs this and then some.
Well, one thing for these players, It's hard to do the math even on day number 7 because there's going to be some losses that have to happen for players ahead of him because they're going to have to play each other. So someone has to lose it, right? So you can get yourself the wire's a little crossed in the brain if you try to do too much math prior to playing these matches. So just do your thing, keep knocking these balls in. We'll see both these guys again. Thanks, Scott Frost and Jeremy Jones here. More